feel like you're at the lowest point of your life or your lowest season, but just to know that God is always there. We just have to completely trust in him and fully commit ourselves to him, and that's where he began to show us. And verse 6, it says, just go back a little bit from 5, it says, and do not rely on your own insight and understanding. And it says, in all your ways, know and acknowledge and recognize him. And one thing about acknowledging God, we have to understand, and by the way, I don't own the rights of the music playing in the background, so if you see it, if you hear it. But the acknowledging God this means to admit God's existence, reality, and trustworthiness. Since he's forever, never changing, trustworthiness. He's reliable. He is reliable. It's something about when somebody is reliable. Let's break it down in our normal lives. If there's a friend or family member that's reliable, you can trust in them, you're going to go to them first. But why is it that we'll go to them first, but when we know God is always reliable and always a constant, sometimes we try to do things ourselves without, we'll try to do things ourselves without seeking him first. But just want to encourage you tonight that lean not to thine own understanding and trust in God. Sometimes it be a rough season, like I said, when life get to life and it feels like there's no hope, there's nowhere to turn, but just trust in God. Just trust in God. Just want to encourage you tonight. Don't give up. Keep on fighting. God has your back. You know what I'm saying? Just trust in him. And like I said, verse 6, it says acknowledging God, understanding that this means that to admit God's existence, reality, the trustworthiness. It also means to seek and obey God's will, which includes accepting his plans for us and not relying on our own understanding, meaning that not trying to do everything ourselves. A lot of times we can cause ourselves unnecessary trauma or unnecessary warfare because we're trying to do it on our own and trying to figure it out on our own ourselves instead of giving it to God. If that makes sense. A lot of times it's the answer. We just need to give it to God. Stop worrying over it. Stop stressing over it. Stop letting it get the best of us and give it to God. And then it will move. But we can be stubborn sometimes, family. Like I've been that way before too as well. So sometimes we can get in our own way. And we just got to come to the realization that, hey, God first. Seek ye the kingdom first. God's kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else shall come. You got to seek him first. Give everything to him first, and then everything shall come. So that's what I'm speaking on, Proverbs 3 and 6. And that scripture that I was just talked about was Matthew 6, verse 33. It said, seek ye the kingdom first. But it coincides together as well. And another thing about verse 6, it says not relying on ourselves. This means to let go of what we think, we know, and let God take control of what he knows. A lot of time, a lot of us as humans don't like when we cannot control something. Come on, somebody. Sometimes it feels like we get frustrated when we cannot control the outcome or we cannot control the situation, and it can get frustrated. But we have to give it to God. We have to give it to him. We have to give it to him. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. It can be rough. It feels like it's rough because it's not normal. Because you're so used to controlling everything. You so used to having things in a row and you controlling the outcome and everything, but it's unnatural for your flesh to give it to God.